Hello, this is Benjamin. I'm, alright. It just took me a second, sorry about that. I get this taken care of. Alright, this is usually a bad development. The knight is not good in the rim. Usually not, I mean there's some exceptions. So. If he captures, I get to take and mess up the castling. Now this is, ooh, that's nice. I was gonna say this is currently protected by the knight, which I can take, but he did. That was nice because it prevents me from doing that. So that's pretty good. But I think I'll take here anyways, because he can take back this way. He can take one or other. One's a blunder, so I give him the option to blunder. So I prefer this way. I had a couple ways to attack, but this allows me to come back. Alright, that was good. He defended that one, but this is still an attack, so there's a lot of pieces were under attack at once. So. Alright, that was not a good move. You just moved your piece into, it either called check, but that is a free piece because it's hanging. It's important when before you do checks to make sure that there's a good reason for it. Usually if you can disrupt the king somehow, disrupt the pieces, checkmate, tie stuff down, forking, but normally just to do it or prevent someone from castling. So, okay. My center's pretty well, so I'm just gonna castle. Sorry, I had to type something to somebody in the group. I have not gonna explain it here though. All right. All right. Well, that's a free pawn. It doesn't really do anything. I can take it. I mean, it does help activate his rook though, so that's not super bad. I'm gonna defend my pawn. Just keep everything pretty much defended. It's a little chaotic, so it's difficult to explain what's going on. Excuse me. I'm thinking about just moving my knight over here, so that way I can maybe possibly do check if needed. I'm gonna have to bring my rooks into play. So I'm gonna move my bishop here first actually. Should I or should I not? No, I should not. Because It is defend. I mean, it's defended by my pawn, but he can take this pawn, and I take back. My bishop will be defending the pawn, and my pawn will be defending the square, so I won't be. Yeah, it's fine. I just didn't want to hang my pieces and have a crazy threat where I lose something. But this pawn's protecting it, and if he takes it, I can take with the pawn, and he can't take back because of the bishop. So I wanted to centralize my pieces, move my rooks here or here, either at E or D, and then C or D. That way I can NG square attack the king. Alright, I want to at some point go here and then call check maybe. So I'm trying to think of the best possible squares for my rooks. That's the free pawn. So as I'm making plans, I'm noticing simple things that tactics are usually, when you win material in tactics, usually it's okay to stray away from a plan if it's beneficial for you. Okay. I can't take it here. My knight is protected by my bishop, so that capture is safe. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I still want to bring my rooks in, but I keep seeing small material things that I can take. Oh, pawns actually. Okay, and this knight is being pinned, so that was not a good capture. Lost the rook and that, so yeah, when you take pieces, you gotta look for, is it defended or not? And in that case, it was. That's something you have to look for. I don't want to call check just to call check. I'm looking at his escape places and what I can do. Right now he can't go after my pawn, so I'm thinking about just moving my pawn up one right here. Well, not one, but two. Okay. I'll be taking this. This is for free. I think about moving my pawns up to pretty much stop the king activity, and then move my bishops in, my knight, bishops to attack. I've been wanting to bring these rooks in forever, but I keep seeing material and other things that I can get. I'm not worried about stalemate because he has pawn moves still, at least this one. Yeah. All right. So now I gotta pay attention to stalemate after I take this, because he has no more pawn moves. Everything is just king. All right. So if I move this here, he will only. If I move here, he will only have this square to go. And then if I move my bishop over here, blocking this square over here, he has to move back. So I'm going to block him in, so he has no spaces, without putting him in stalemate. So he's only going to have these two squares, and then I'm going to bring my pieces into for a checkmate. So now he has no escape squares. Wow, how do I... Now if I go here right now, that'll be stalemate. Go here, he moves up one, move this here. Wait a second, I want to make sure I do this correctly. I mean, I can easily checkmate with the rooks, but I'm just trying to practice blocking in with these pieces real quick. And he moves up one. If I call it check, he would go down 1, and he would have nowhere to go after that. It would be stalemate. I'm trying to make this difficult on myself for a reason. Okay. I go up 1, he goes this way, I call check, he goes down. I don't have a way to completely, that I can see, that I'm satisfied with. If I go here, okay, I'm not satisfied with any of that, so I'm just gonna bring my rook in, move my knight out the way, and bring my rook in for check and checkmate. So go here, he goes down, I can call check, he goes up 1. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna do this. So you can go up 1, call check with my knight, he has to go down, and then checkmate with my rook. Alright. I'm still 1466, I'm not Grandmaster, so I like to practice little things when I get a chance to try to understand and learn it myself when I get chances like this one. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. You just gotta obviously when it happens, just try to learn to take your time next time. That's what I do. When I feel like I rush. So we can do a rematch. I don't need to do that. Alright, 0 mistakes, 0 blunders, 0 missed wins. That was only because he kept hanging pieces a lot, so it's very easy to have that. Alright, so that's good. This is, well, I think that's pretty good too. I won't say it's bad. So he's a good sport as he is. He's always been a good sport since I've known him. Okay, so that's a free pawn. My suggestion after last game and this now looking at this game, whenever your opponent makes a move, look at what they're threatening. That's very important. Every time your opponent makes a move. And this right here has to just that has to not happen. Bring it in this way is a lot better for development. And then that way if I were to take it and you take it with your bishop, you have a piece developed and I wouldn't. And then I have to continue from there. So I'm leaving this hanging because I know I can just bring it back if I need to. Let me double check something. I know he's attacking this pawn here. I had to double check because in some situations this would be bad, but my pawn's here, so it's defending it. So, and if he goes here, I can just drop back. So I'm explaining why I'm leaving it hanging. I can also just go up 1 right here to attack the bishop, which would probably be better for my structure. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Force him to move his bishop. Okay. Again, the same thing. I threatened his piece, and he didn't see it after I made my move. So he's not looking at what my moves are threatening, basically. That's 353. So that's okay. I'll try to remember that for the rating. One of the most important things around close to 400 is looking at threats every time your opponent makes moves, like 1 move threats. Okay, well at least this time it's defended. So if I take it, he can take back. So at least this time it's defended. I am up a piece. So one of the chess principles is when you're up in pieces to trade. The reason why is at the end of the game you would have more material, obviously, and that would be used for easier winning endgame, converting to a any one game. So that's the reason. And because he's been, I was thinking about just going here to see if he would make the same mistake again by not looking at my threats. I'm considering it. But I want to play normal at the same time. So I'm probably not going to do that. What I can do is go here and double attack his knight and his bishop. He can take here. And if I take, he can take my rook. And then I can take back, which is still good for me. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm forking both his pieces. It's 6 points for 6, but generally speaking, 2 minor pieces is better than a rook and a pawn. I can't believe I started considering it just to see, but I don't want to start practicing that way because I might start doing them at real games, and that would be bad for me. So, okay. I think the bishop's better to take here because if I take the knight, he'll get a pawn here. So I'd rather just get the whole bishop instead of trading a knight for a pawn. Now I gotta develop my other pieces. So I'm gonna develop my bishop this way, if he allows me to. He can prevent that by moving queen here, and then I'll be forced to defend because of my rook. I'm considering going my bishop here and then my queen here for checkmate. I normally don't go for these type of checkmates, but because he's not looking at threats, I'm going to start doing stuff like that. And hopefully, I'm not going to take it. I'm going to go for checkmate, and if he blocks it, then I'll take it. Okay. He probably seen the attack on my rook. So, alright, I'll do one more. This is mostly for him to watch. So, alright, good game. Alright, this is the last one, and then I'm going to stop the recording so I can put it on YouTube then, then you can watch, and that way I can challenge another person from the group or have them challenge me. Okay, this is better. This is better. His knight's not out here, and he didn't develop and do something that allowed me to take a piece right away in the beginning. So that is a bit, I do like that. It is better. Okay. I'm not a fan only because I can move my pawn and helps fortify my structure. And I get a free piece. Alright. I'm going to, I was thinking about taking here, but I'm just going to close things up. I'm going to close it up a little bit. I'm going to see if he notices the threat, and he did not. Yeah, you have to pay attention to my moves for sure. Notice my threats and try to avoid them or counterattack if you can counterattack in a good way. So it's definitely your practice. Your practice is to pay attention to your opponent's move and see what they're attacking. If he takes, I can just take and threaten his queen. Okay. Now, this is much better. I'm going to say it every time. This is definitely much better over here. And let's see. Think about threatening his queen. Let's see if he notices that. I know a lot of people love their queen. So would he castle just to castle because that was his plan? I'm wondering if he's making plans. And okay, he does notice the queen at least. I know that's in the beginning, that's like everyone's scared to lose their queen. So if you have that fear for all your pieces, All of them. You don't want to lose any of your pieces for free. That's what you need. That danger sense is what you need for all your pieces. I understand how it is with the queen early on. I used to do the same thing. I used to be like, oh no, my queen. But I wasn't like that with everything else for a while. And then eventually I'm like, oh no, my rooks. Then I'm like, oh no, my minor pieces. Then I'm like, oh no, my pawns. So you kind of graduate. You have to do that with all your pieces. It's important. So I'm gonna take, because I'm up a piece, or 2 pieces actually. So I'm gonna start taking. I normally don't. I guess that's okay because I get to develop my knight. I don't like moving my pawns too much. I did a lot of pawn, but it was because of captures. It was pretty. It was beneficial to do so. He probably. I don't know if he should move his king up or not. Okay, I was gonna take this anyways, but now it became a better move than it was earlier. Okay, I can capture here, but it'll be leaving this pawn open. So I don't want to do that. Alright, I'm going to call it check. Normally, most checks are usually bad in the beginning, but in this situation it's good because he can't go here, here, or here because the pawn and because of the knight. So he really has no squares to go. I'm sorry. Yeah, he has nowhere squares to go besides staying in the back rank. So I can try checkmate by going here, then here. And that's what I'm going to do. His best bet is to block the checkmate right here. Okay. Ooh. Okay, he avoided this checkmate, but I have a free piece, and then I can come back and try to threaten it. I can't go here directly because of his bishop can take. So I'm gonna go back and take, and then move back forward and threaten it again. The same thing. I don't want to call check and then move, because if I call check, his king can go back. So, alright. I take. If I go here right now, he has this square. I'm debating if that's good. I can call check. He has this square. I can call check. He has this square. I can call check with the bishop. He has these 2 squares. I can move a pawn. I can move this pawn. I like this. So I'm gonna just run around with massive checks because he really has nowhere to go. He's forced to go over here with my pawns, and I'm pretty sure that will be checkmate. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. He has to go here or here. Okay. Now these squares are blocked. This square is blocked off. This square is blocked off. These squares are blocked off. This is blocked off, and this is blocked off. The only square available to him is up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the square away from him by moving my pawn. So now he can't go here either. So now he has nowhere he can go. And if I call check, he cannot go down because of the knight. So I just basically took all his squares away. Making sure. Yep. Does he have? Okay, I'm like, I got confused. I'm like, did I miss something? Alright, that was a good game. Alright, good game. Yeah, my suggestion to you is specifically just looking at my captures. Like whenever I make a threat, whenever I make a move, look at if I'm trying to capture something or if I'm threatening something. That's like probably the most important thing for you to look at. That's what I suggest you do for a little while, and then we can talk again later after you feel get a little bit more into that, or I can do another one with you. All right. I hope you enjoyed.